chickens, and welcome to Back in History. Today we have three special guests.
Good day, I'm King George III. I'm honored to be here today.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Elizabeth Williams, Speaker of the Parliament. Thank you for inviting me here.
Hello, I'm Alexander Smith from the Massachusetts colony. Glad I could be here.
Welcome, friends. While I have you here, I would like to discuss four major events that affected U.S. history greatly.
Go on.
The first event I would like to discuss is the Magna Carta. What do you have to say on the matter, Alexander?
The Magna Carta is a famous document created for the purpose of limiting British government. It preserves the rights of all free men in England.
If I may, the Magna Carta is a document that allows free men to exercise their right to trial by jury, a fitting punishment, and most importantly, no taxation without representation.
King, your opinion on the matter?
Until the 13th century, English rulers were absolute monarchs. We could do anything, until the revolutionary Magna Carta came and limited all of our power.
Yes, it changed the course of history greatly, didn't it?
It did. Under King John's abusive rule, the Magna Carta was necessary and would revolutionize English rule forever.
Thank you all for your input. Next up, we have the legendary social contract. Your opinions, King?
John Locke and the other Enlightenment thinkers changed how government works. One of the major ideas, like you said, was the social contract theory. I believe that it not only changed the government, but it changed and corrupted how people thought.
Sir, excuse me, but do you mean it changed them in a positive way? The social contract theory states that the people agree to give up some of their rights for the government to protect their rights. It got people to think that there needs to be a strong leader because people are too selfish to govern themselves.
That statement models how government was in the colonies. By the way, without John Locke's ideas, government would have very different viewpoints.
Yes, I agree. The next event we have to discuss is the English Bill of Rights.
If you don't mind, I'd like to take the lead on this.
Of course not. The event did lead to the founding of the Parliament.
A long time ago, King James II was abusing people's rights. He was a horrible ruler who neglected his power. The people decided to form a parliament who had enough power to force the king from his throne. They then created the English Bill of Rights that stated there were certain rights that the king could not violate. Before letting the past king's daughter, Mary, and her husband rule, they forced the king to sign the bill.
Yes, and if the king broke the bill, the people had to rebel.
Like the Magna Carta, it was another way to limit the king's power.
Indeed, and it changed history and affected the future. How?
It limited the king's power. It gave more power to the people, or respectively, the parliament.
The founding of the parliament changed the history in greater ways. It would, in the future, work to protect people in many ways the kings would.
The last event I would like to discuss is the Petition of Rights. What exactly is that?
The goal of the Petition of Rights was to assert four main principles. The first one was that taxes could not be passed without reason. The second was that no laws could be passed without the Parliament's consent. The third was that no subjects could be imprisoned without cause.
And the fourth is that martial law may not be used.
Yes, and all of those principles were used in the making of the USA.
Thank you all for your valued opinions. It's been great having you here.
It has been great being here.
Indeed, thank you.
I appreciate being invited.
I have one last question, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes?
How have all four events been used in the founding of the United States of America?
Well, if I may answer for all of us, the events that were used to limit the government have caused the United States to become a limited democracy. Many of the principles spoken of, including those of the social contract theory, were used when writing the Declaration of Independence. Even the Parliament, as abstract as it seems, is represented in the United States because power is shared among cabinet members and other officials.
Thank you for that detailed answer, and thank you all for joining me today. That is all we have for today. See you tomorrow on Back to History as we discuss the Revolutionary War with some special guests. Bye! Yes, this has been great having you here, Logan.
Hi, Sherry.
I have one last book.
Spoken of, including those of the stones.
We live in America. Excuse me.
I like the bloopers we didn't use like force.
Yeah.
And that's used there.
Oh! Oh!